here keeping his seat very warm for him before he returns, I'm sure, with a lot of renewed energy. He is missing it and he's waiting to share all about his experiences to you as well. He sends his love and his du'as, and he looks forward to being back here very, very soon. So don't worry too much about that. He will definitely be back. But today we have such an interesting show lined up for you today. Of course, when October comes around, you see all the pink ribbons going around and the chai days and the cancer support groups come alive and everybody starts talking about cancer. But have you ever heard some silly things like eating too much of burnt toast can give you cancer too? Some people talk about cancer. This person is most likely to get cancer. If you're going to be like this, you're going to get cancer. Or these are the typical scenarios when your person has cancer. You're just expecting a bald head or you're expecting something or the other. There's all these misconceptions or myths of what cancer is, who it affects and what it does to you, what it does to your body. So we've got a cancer specialist that is coming into our studio today, and we're going to shoot her with every possible myth we've ever heard, frequently asked questions about cancer. And if you have a particular thing that you've heard or a query that you may have, general cancer facts or fiction, how about that? So let's just get it and just come to the root cause of the issue. Pop us a WhatsApp, and when she's in studio, we'll go through those WhatsApp messages. 060-904-1056. She'll be in the studio just after 3:30, around 4:22. Dr. Diana Pillay, and she's going to join us and go through all your queries, the most frequently asked questions about cancer. That's after 3:30. We're also going to talk to Iman from the Wits Liberated Zone. She's going to talk to us about the youth have been getting up to for this past year. They've been doing amazing things, but along with the amazing things that they are trying to do, like create a living exhibition or what it would look like or what it would be like for the Palestinian people, which was dismantled and taken down at Wits University. Banners were taken away and confiscated. You see what the students at Stellenbosch have been going through as well, not allowed to even display a flag. They put out open letters condemning what's been happening against the Students' Action for Palestine, and you see the university's Palestinian Solidarity Forum coming out there, and I'm going to give you more details of that, the press releases, and we're going to break it down more for you after 4:00. But on the other side of this, we speak to Africa Muslim Agency about what they've been up to for the past year. We also talk Lebanon and so much more about their exciting event they've got planned for tomorrow.
شفاف يا طه الأمين محمد خير المرسلين شفاف يا طه الأمين محمد خير المرسلين اسقيني بيده في يوم الدين ورويني بعده بالنظرة ليك يسقيني بيده في يوم الدين ورويني بعده بالنظرة ليك يا مولانا يا الله يا مولانا يا الله يا مولانا.
So October has been a month marked by the war in Gaza and Lebanon escalating and the renewed efforts of South Africans and the world to call for global peace. 1 year after the crisis broke out in Gaza, AMA has been working in both countries long before the latest conflict and has provided emergency aid to countless families in this difficult period. AMA's regional director from South Africa is currently in Lebanon as part of the emergency response mission, where AMA is setting up a shelter for displaced families. We have Fatima Salih in studio today to share the work AMA is doing in Lebanon and Gaza. It's scary to think that Lebanon has become such a huge topic now, and it's not just Gaza anymore. It is now widespread. Sister Fatima, welcome to the studio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah for having me.
It's a pleasure having you in studio and meeting you for the first time. We probably met before, but now officially meeting again. Tell us a little bit now, obviously, what's been happening recently. All eyes are on Lebanon now also, and rightfully so. But tell us, what is AMA doing currently in Lebanon and why?
So AMA has been working in Lebanon over the past few years. As you may have heard, we have established the Amman School of Excellence, something very close to our heart, which is in actually the Bekaa Valley, which is currently being bombed. So we also have the Orphan Hope program. We provides food, basic necessities for children every single month. That's been going on for quite a few years. To put things into context, Lebanon is already facing an economic crisis.
Yeah.
Lebanon already had more than 2 million Palestinian and Syrian refugees. So the Syrian refugees from when there was the conflict in Syria then came to Lebanon. Palestinian refugees have been in Lebanon since after the Nakba. So those refugees have been there since after the Nakba, some displaced once to Syria and then a second time displaced from Syria into Lebanon. So that's just giving you an idea of the refugee crisis as well in Lebanon. And these are the refugees that AMA has been working with, that has been supporting. We provide tents, dignity tents, for example, and we have camps that are actually managed by Africa Muslims Agency. So when Lebanon was struck, in fact, two of our directors were in Lebanon at the time. We were planning to open the Amman School, which I mentioned earlier. The Amman School is the only school actually for refugees that is part of it's a pilot project that we did in Lebanon, and this provides high quality education to children from the camps. It's an absolutely beautiful school. I have been there, alhamdulillah. So on the day that the school was scheduled to be open is actually the day that the bombing started. In fact, our teams were at the school and, this whole thing started. And one of the first attacks was about 10 kilometers from the school. So the buses had to go back to the school, fetch all the children, take them back to the camps. So that's firstly, just to give you an idea of how this impacts the school and the children that are living in that area. While our director is there, he's been overseeing the shelters that we now provide aid at. So we provide mattresses, blankets, food, water on a daily basis. And then the children at the Amman school, the teachers have actually been going to the camps, to check on them, to give them that support, because all these kids, the school and going to the school is a very big thing. There's about 600 refugee children that go to Amman school. So that's what we've been doing, providing that emergency aid to the different areas in the Bekaa Valley and other places that have been struck.
That pretty much answered what I was going to ask as well, is that we know about all these families that AMA is now sponsoring in Lebanon and this Amman school. I actually follow certain people on social media that are affiliated with AMA, and they're always sharing about the Amman school and sponsoring of the children and things like that. So your teams, tell us about a little bit about the interaction the team is having currently with the families there and how they're doing now, how they're processing what is happening and what are they currently doing, what are they busy with, like the families and the children.
So although from the first day, the school was closed, the Lebanese Department of Education shut down all schools.
Okay.
So that is closed until it is safe for them to go back. Our teachers, firstly, they have been going to the camps to visit the children and to provide that psychosocial support, because this is so traumatic. These are children already living in dire, like they're already in a problem, and now they suddenly they're facing a threat again. Because we don't know where, what may land where. We don't know who is safe and who isn't. So they have been going firstly to the camps. We have continued providing our monthly support that we do to the orphans. And now more than ever, those families still need that support and sponsorship. We are exploring options of online schooling once that's possible, until the education department decides to open. And then our teachers have also been working in the shelters. So we have teams based in Lebanon, AMA teams, not just the South African teams that go there out. We have offices in Lebanon. Those teams have actually been going to the shelters and providing food, bread and water and mattresses. It just depends, whatever is needed. We have a lot of the orphan families that are actually displaced. So people that were based in Saida, you would have heard that Saida was bombed, as well as in the Burj Berejna camp, which alhamdulillah I had the privilege of visiting, which is a Palestinian camp. I've also been to the Sabra and Shatila camp, which is the oldest Palestinian camp in Beirut, and you would know the history.
You know that name so well.
Yes, so you know that name so well. So, a lot of those people are now displaced. So they still need support. They had to leave whatever little they had. So whatever they may have had, their beds, their mattresses, they've now had to leave that and go to some other camp and start all over. So there's quite a huge need now again, for all those people that have been displaced.
You can think so many, like you can't even imagine how that must feel to be a refugee, number one, and then have to go through this process all over again now that you're in Lebanon. But if you have to shift back to Gaza again, let's talk about the campaign, the For Gaza campaign. How's that been going, and what is that about? What sort of initiatives are part of that campaign for Gaza?
So as we approach, we've been planning this from September as we approach the 1 year mark. It's unbelievable that firstly we've witnessed
It's
1 year of genocide, and every day we think there's going to be a ceasefire, this is going to end. It hasn't happened as yet, and now we see Lebanon drawn into the conflict. Our teams have been working in Palestine, in Gaza, in Ramallah, in Jerusalem over the past few years. So from the outset, we had continued providing whatever aid we could, as much as we could. Our primary aid is providing the food, providing shelter, water, and bread. So that's what's continued happening. We do what's called the tekiya feeding, which is the mass pots that you may see in some of the clips in the footage, which feeds hundreds of families. We provide water tankers. Those water tankers you may have seen, in some of the footage where the children get up really early to line up to fill their buckets of water, to go into the camps. We've also provided winter clothing when it was really cold, as well as the bread. So when you imagine a bakery, it's not the normal bakery that that we know of. These are like home-based bakeries. We've supported them so that bread can be provided to the people that are in need. We've continued working in Deir Bala, in Khan Yunis, in Sheikh Ridwan, in different areas, and that's what we've tried to do as much as we possibly could. And our For Gaza campaign, we intensified it now in October. Our aim is to reach 30,000 families, inshallah. And that was how we partnered with Al Ansar, with businesses. The campaign tried to reach different businesses. We reached out to schools. We've had a phenomenal response. Small businesses, big businesses, simple things that are really making a difference. And I think, for example, I can give you some examples where some businesses sign up for this, and then any percentage that they'd like to donate towards the For Gaza campaign, they do so. We have some stores, like some restaurants, for example, Vapor Cafe, they're doing a 10 Rand optional at till point. So, when you go to pay for your bill, they'll ask you, would you like to donate 10 Rand towards Gaza?
Yeah.
So it's small things, and these small things really add up. And we have great hopes, inshallah, that we're going to reach those 30,000 families by the end of October.
Inshallah, I think that's definitely possible, more than possible. But let's talk about this exciting event that's happening tomorrow. I'm very excited for that. We've been hearing all about it and been told, and I saw the little post going up during the course of the week about the tea garden that's happening tomorrow, and you can come and purchase meals, and that just already gets me excited because you can support for a good cause and also grab a good lunch or something or the other for your family. Tell us about the tea garden that's happening tomorrow and what can people expect?
So I'll have to share with you how the idea of the tea garden came up.
Okay.
Yeah. So firstly, someone approached me in the community and they said, previously we would do cake sales and bake sales and raise funds. And we must never underestimate these small efforts that add up to a lot.
Yes.
And then a few people said to me, we'd like to donate, but we don't actually have the funds to donate. Can't you do something where we can make something and we can bring it and we can sell it? And, that way raise funds. And that was how the idea was
people feel like
born.
they're contributing
and
also.
People feel like they contributed. And we had such an amazing response from different communities. A shout out to the Chats With community that has just been calling and donating and come on board to really help. So basically we've got food donated, we've got Bimat's Biryani, we've got the address, we've got some of the restaurants that have also supported us with the food, and then we've got people that are dropping off their baking and their bhajiyas and all these different things. The drop off for this is before 9 o'clock, and then we officially open at 10, and we're hoping that with the food sales we must at least reach 200 families. So when I say 200 families for this specific event, it costs 17,000 Rand to feed 100 families. So we are really aiming, maybe we're going to do much better than that, but that's what we hope for, and we're inviting everyone to come through. And then we've also got some chef demos. I'm not sure if you saw that. So we've got Auntie Zora from Sofra Istanbul, who's going to come and show you how to make some lovely bread. We've got Ganache Art, who's going to do mocktails. We've got Wafika, who's going to do some cake icing and something to do with baking. And then we've got Sarah from Motini, and she will be doing some Palestinian
Oh,
food.
Sarah is amazing.
So it's really simple but lovely lineup that starts at 10:30.
And Sarah being Palestinian also, I think that's so perfect.
Also, so basically it's the food sales. We also have a coffee cart, and Chai Bai will be doing the drinks. Then we've got juices and water, and we'd also be having merchandise. So our cooler bags, our Palestinian t-shirts. We've got some people who also decided they'd like to come and sell a few things and then contribute what they can from that. So there's quite a bit happening
at
tomorrow.
189.
That's at 189 West Road. There are 2 tea gardens tomorrow, so we encourage everyone to attend both. See what you can get at both places.
Of
Definitely
course,
support both efforts.
That's the idea.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the hours you said from 10 o'clock?
It's from 10 o'clock, and then the chef demos, those start at about 10:30.
Okay.
There is a break in between. So there is a schedule that will be posted on our Instagram page as well. For whoever wants to see, maybe they can't come in at 10:30, they want to come in for the Palestinian food demo. That's a bit later. I think that's around 1:30.
Okay.
And then the food sales is throughout the morning.
That's fantastic. So that's tomorrow at Al Ansar's original hall, 189 West Road, the hall that everyone knows and loves, and you can support them from 10 o'clock tomorrow. But if you wish to contribute perhaps as well, you're welcome to meet the team tomorrow. If you wish to drop off anything before 9 o'clock to come through and drop off, the entire team will be here. So as we approach this latter half of the year, I must ask, as we wrap up, what are your plans now for the next 2 months? I know probably you'll be at Souk as well, but what is AMA's plans for the remainder of the year? Are you looking for volunteers? Can people still assist?
Yeah, so, as I said, we have an amazing community and volunteers always respond. We do have an AMA volunteer team that, always comes on board. So, for example, tomorrow, if you pop by, you would see at least about 30 volunteers that have signed up to come and help us tomorrow with the food sales.
We need our youth. We need the youth.
We actually have a majority youth.
That's great.
So we actually do struggle during exam time because then
they all busy
exams. But a lot of people, and hats off to the youth, because really even the kids, they come through, they always come to help. They, always polite, and we've really got an amazing team of volunteers, old and young, but we have a lot of youth.
That's good.
And then, so coming up, I would say on Sunday, we'll be at the Orient Fun Walk. If anybody would like to get merchandise, we have the Pause and Paint fundraiser on Sunday as well with Sonali at Unity Arts Gateway. And I think she's almost sold out for that one. And then on the 27th of October, we have a fundraising breakfast with Chef Hamza. So we invite everyone to come and join us for that. We have an art gallery. The rest of the year, our focus, we will continue to focus on Gaza and Lebanon. And then we also have, multiple projects that are ongoing, our water projects and things like that. And then in December will be the Souk, inshallah. And before you know it, is going to be Ramadan. So we'll be doing our Ramadan campaign.
Look at that. Time just goes by. But Sister Fatima, it's been such a pleasure speaking to you. Please just give us any details. Who do people contact first and foremost if they need to speak to anybody about tomorrow or future events? Or do they just pop onto the website? What do they do?
So if you're in the Durban community, you can visit our offices, which are on 797 Jansmats Highway. Or people can give me a call on 083 843-2562, or they can go to our website. There's a WhatsApp line. They can just chat on there and they'll be directed to the relevant person that they'd like to speak to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us in studio. All the best for the balance of the year and with tomorrow's event as well. Inshallah, I'll see you there.
Jazakallah. Bring your picnic basket.
I'm definitely coming for my house.
So, and then, you can also sit there. We've got some tables laid. So if people want to just get something to eat while they're watching the cooking demos. And then we also, I forgot to mention, Zainab Khan will be there. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. So she's going to be reading some of her book and doing a book signing for the new book as well that she's launched.
Okay, that's awesome. We'll definitely see you there. I'll come for my pin, my watermelon pin. Wonderful. Thank you. That is Sister Fatima Salih from the AMA. You can contact them, the African Muslim Agency, doing amazing work in Gaza and Lebanon. Don't go anywhere. Still to come, we're talking all things cancer, some of the most frequently asked questions, common misconceptions and myths. What are some of the things or the craziest things you've heard about cancer? Or what's some genuine questions that you wish you could just ask somebody right now? Pop us a WhatsApp 060-904-1056. We tackle cancer on the other side of this.
Looking for the perfect Umrah experience? Look no further. One-stop travel into it.